again. And again, it is a real joy to welcome you to this gala celebration. We gather today as those whose lives have been touched and transformed by a man and a movement. Today, both will be lifted up. We will look back in gratitude over the life and work of Len Swidler, but we will also look forward, celebrating the legacy that is embodied in every person in this room, and recommitting ourselves to the work of dialogue that lies ahead in the next century. It is a special joy to be holding our celebration in this wonderful new building, Alter Hall, which was dedicated just this past Monday. In fact, you saw the bunting still outside. We're very grateful that they finished it in time for our day. We are grateful to the Fox School of Business, and particularly to Howard Cohen, who has worked tirelessly helping to deal with many of the arrangements for this event. Dean Peratt was unable to join us because of a prior commitment, and so I'm pleased to welcome Howard forward to share his greetings.
Thank you, Julie. Well, you're seated here. It just shows you what $80 million can really buy. This is a rather unique building at Temple. It is the first building, and Dick Englert is probably going to correct me if I make one slight mistake. He's only been at Temple for 33 years. I had the great privilege of working with Dean Moshe Peratt for 7.5 years when this building was a dream and a sketch. And it is the first building, I think, in Temple's history where a major proportion of the funding for the building was raised privately. We raised about $50 million for this building. The remainder came from the state, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, and indeed from the capital budget of the university. And several of the people here, including Harry Halloran, who you'll hear from later, were great benefactors of this structure. So it is indeed a privilege to welcome you. This is the first event post the ribbon cutting on the 20th day of April. So you are, in a sense, showing us that it works. I mean, we had that event in what we call the egg. Don't ask me, it doesn't even look like an egg. But we had food service and beverages, and then we went into the atrium and you saw the flags, and you had this wonderful little dance, and then you were able, either on foot or by elevator, to come down to this very good auditorium. It is particularly good because it's as high-tech an auditorium as you'll find in any business school in America, and that's probably true until they build the next business school building. So on behalf of the dean and his great team and the faculty and my colleagues at Temple, it is indeed a privilege and a pleasure to have you here, particularly for such a glorious event celebrating the life and work of Len Swidler. So welcome.
Thank you, Howard. For the past 43 years, Len Swidler and the Journal of Ecumenical Studies have called the city of Philadelphia home. He and Arlene raised their daughters here, and he has introduced generations of Temple students to the religious heritage of this city. And indeed, there are many interreligious scholars and activists around the world who know Philadelphia because they know Len. It is my great privilege now to welcome the Reverend Malcolm Bird from Mayor Michael Nutter's Office of Faith-Based Initiatives. Reverend Bird.
Thank you, Julia, Sally, Howard, and to the honoree of the hour, Professor Dr. Swidler. I'm going to act like I'm at church and ask you just to stand on your feet and show some love for this wonderful doctor. Will you do that for me? Come on, let's give it up for Dr. Swidler. You represent a wonderful demonstration of the investment of years and scholarship and faith that manifests itself in such marvelous interreligious, international, intercultural, and interfaith ways. What a delight it is to be here today to represent the Honorable Michael A. Nutter, who was not able to be here with you today, but thought it not robbery if I was to be here, and what a privilege it is. I'm here today to present to Dr. Swidler, and you'll find within your program guide the text of the presentation that we're about to make to Dr. Swidler. Do you have it? Yeah, I have the text. Do you have the actual document you presented? Okay. Dr. Professor Swidler, know that it is with a deep respect and love and regard for you that we present this presentation on behalf of the Honorable Michael A. Nutter. I understand that the document is here and will be presented to you a little later. Is that all right with you, sir? Amen. Well, let me read the words from our mayor. More than 45 years ago, Temple University recruited Dr. Leonard Swidler, a young professor of religion. Upon the Swidler family's arrival, Philadelphia became home to the world's premier scholarly periodical on interreligious dialogue, the Journal of Ecumenical Studies, which Arlene and Leonard Swidler co-founded. This journal broadened the Christian-Jewish dialogue and soon thereafter included dialogue among other religions. In an era charged with civil rights advocacy, the Swidlers championed human rights, feminism, and reform within their own religious traditions of Catholicism. Excuse me. They have demanded that society as a whole demands equality, inclusiveness, and accountability for all people. During his time at Temple University, Dr. Swidler mentored, taught, and shaped new scholars in the field of interreligious dialogue locally and globally. To those who are committed to social consciousness and global ethics. For 4 decades, Dr. Swidler answered the call of political, business, and spiritual leaders to address courageously the use of religion as well as its misuse in the service of hate and violence. He established the Dialogue Institute, which places interreligious dialogue at the core of conflict resolution and serves as the standard of human relations and best practices for a society. It is fitting and appropriate, therefore, that the city of Philadelphia officially recognize with this citation Dr. Leonard Swidler for his outstanding life work and life works, and encourage all fellow citizens to celebrate his 80th birthday and 45th anniversary of the Journal of Ecumenical Studies, signed by Michael A. Nutter, Mayor, on this day, April the 26th, 2009. Let's show some love for Dr. Swidler one more time, would you? Thank you very much.